All right, this is the Daily Illini Fantasy Football Weekly Vidcast. My name's JJ Wilson.
I'm Erik Prado.
And this is Illinois starting pitcher Kevin Duchene. Thank you for joining us, Kevin.
No problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
I'm glad you're here. Well, we'll just start off talking about our fantasy football teams this week. Not good. Not a good week. Not a good week for all.
Jordan and I both started 0-1. We're in the same league. How did you start? How was your week one?
0-1, man.
0-1.
Came out of the draft feeling real good about my team, and it just wasn't a good week.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I had Adrian Peterson number 1, Tom Brady, Demaryius Thomas, Jason Witten, Percy Harvin, and the guy I happened to be going up against had Calvin Johnson and Stafford. So it was just like a double win, and just totally blew it.
Matt Forte not getting any touchdowns really hurt me.
Yeah, that's what you do that for, yeah.
With his receiving and rushing yards, it just really, a touchdown was exactly what was missing. And the same thing for Julio Jones, who I had in my lineup too. And then Bente getting injured and Stephen Ridley falling to form. Just really didn't work out.
It was an ugly, and kind of a weird, wacky week one, and just in the whole NFL in general. So, I mean, hopefully week 2 works out better, and, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, then we can get down to it then, because what we're going to talk about on a regular weekly basis is our who's hot, who's not, waiver wire pickups, and then the matchup to watch. So this week, my hot's got to be Russell Wilson.
And why Russell?
I think, I got Russell on my team, so I kind of got to go with Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson is consistent more than anything else, and he's going up against a really, really bad Chargers secondary. I mean, they got eaten alive this week, and Wilson didn't have a bad week. 191, somewhere in that area of yardage, 2 touchdowns, and he's going to stay consistent. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. He does not fumble the ball very much, and they're working with it. So I think that he's a great person to have on your team this week.
Definitely. For me, I'm going to go kind of a 1-2 combo, I guess, would be Calvin Johnson and Matt Stafford. Probably the best wide receiver in the game right now. And Stafford, he's going to be chucking it about 30, 50 times a game. So, I mean, you can't go wrong with either of them.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going to take the dual threat Cordell Patterson from the Vikings. He's getting a lot of touches, both rushing and receiving, which, gives you 2 times more of an opportunity to score touchdowns and get more points.
I really like him. I had him last year. I kind of bought into him as a rookie, but they just never utilized him. So I'm happy that, I don't have him now this year, but at least they're utilizing him now, like showing his true potential. Because all of last year, they were hyping him up as a guy, like you said, a dual threat, and they just never used him like that.
Yeah. I mean, his speed, he runs by just about everybody.
Yeah.
Right now, I feel like he doesn't get the respect out of most secondaries. There's just not over-the-top coverage. Most times he's running right by people.
Well, he needs consistency at the quarterback position, which I think Castle can finally offer him.
Yeah, definitely. We were saying earlier, I think people don't give Castle enough credit. He can get the job done, and that's what they need right now until they get the Bridgewater.
Well, while we're talking about that kind of general area of running past people, someone who can't run past anyone is Trent Richardson. He's splitting carries with Ahmad Bradshaw. I mean, he's definitely my knock for this week. I mean, he was 6 for 20 yards, 5 points, and even if he starts taking half and half carries with Bradshaw, he's not big enough to be on your starting fantasy roster, even at a flex position. Maybe keep him on your bench, but
that's a big maybe. That's a big maybe.
Big maybe.
Yeah.
And this week, prime time too. I mean, they're going to be at home. They're going to be dealing with that, but I just don't see it working out for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, this goes back. This is the whole problem he's had for a while. So I agree with that. My pick for not hot, it would be Tony Romo. 1 touchdown, 3 picks against the 49ers, and this was at home too. And so, the Cowboys were just a total mess. They're on the road against the Titans, who probably upset the Chiefs week 1. So the Titans may be a little bit better than we thought, but just that whole Cowboys team just looked dysfunctional and everything. He'll probably improve mid-season, later in the season. But for right now, I don't think you should go anywhere near Tony Romo.
I wouldn't go near Tony Romo at all.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to sit my favorite player, Tom Brady, who is my not for this week. The reason I say that is because they're going into a tough environment in Minnesota, and the defense from Minnesota looked great. They held them to 6 points.
About 6 points. Yeah. On the road.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's not like that wasn't a non-potent offense by any means.
Yeah. Zach Stacy. What are the receivers again in St. Louis?
Well, Zach Stacy on the backfield. They've got
Tavon Austin.
Yeah,
Tavon
Austin.
Austin.
He's the big one that everyone's kind of excited about. But yeah, you lose Bradshaw. It's not working. But moving on to the waiver wire pickup, with all the stuff coming out about Ray Rice now, even more so with his being dropped from the Ravens altogether, I think Justin Forsett's got to really step up in this offense. And I think you can expect him to do the same thing. I mean, he didn't do bad last year, and now there's not the risk of Rice coming back to take the points break from him. So 11 for 70, a touchdown. I can see that improving or at least remaining steady for most of the season.
That's also another great pickup because Bernard Pierce is apparently in the doghouse again after another terrible week 1 performance. So Justin Forsett, that could be a great pickup. Mine is kind of the opposite. A guy coming back from suspension, Josh Gordon, which, I mean, they're reversing the drug policy. They're going really fast at this, which is really unusual for the NFL. So the chances of him playing this season are good. Whether it's week 3 or whatever, no one knows. But he's going to play. So I pick him up if you can, just stash him on your bench. When he comes back, he comes back. Yeah, taking receiver last year.
Take him as fast as you can, as long as he doesn't stick with his car salesman job. It's always that chance. But, what about for you, Kevin?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Donnie Avery.
Okay.
You know, he's only owned in I think 9.6% according to Yahoo. I really find that he's a very, very, very quality player. He's gonna put points up for you consistently. He's got a very, very, very good quarterback throwing to him. And truthfully, I don't understand how only 9% of, you know, not even 10% of owners have him. I don't know. That's in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, we've kind of touched on this a little bit. Our matchup to watch this week is New England at Minnesota. We were already talking about with Patterson, a little bit with Tom Brady. Guys, what do you guys think?
Yeah, no, those two. Peterson again. He kind of had a quiet week 1. No touch. I don't think he had a touchdown. No touchdown.
So.
So I think I expect him to get rolling and everything like that. And then Kevin brought up a good point earlier. The last time New England started 0-2 was 2001. This was pre-Tom Brady. Just think about that for a second. Pre-Tom Brady, like we've grown up watching Tom Brady essentially. So I don't think there's any way Pats are gonna go down without a fight. It's early still, So even though he said he's Tom Brady's his cold player, I still think Gronk and the Patriots players will still pick up the pace.
I think you can expect it to be a shootout too, which helps Patterson, helps Castle, helps all of these players. And with the Vikings defense as well, Tom Brady
coached by Mike Zimmer, defensive guru.
Yeah. Back to Tom Brady being cold this week. I mean, I 100% agree that O-line looked horrible.
Yeah.
And the Vikings got to him bad last week, so if they get after Brady, I mean, that could cause problems early. The Vikings could go all over him.
Yeah, 100% agree. Anytime that you have multiple injuries at one position, the starting line, you need some protection to have Tom into fighting Toms, give them a little bit of an opportunity. Like I said, I don't see them even. Truthfully, guys, I don't even see this game being close with the way Minnesota looked in the first game and the way the Patriots looked. Truthfully, I mean, Miami tear them apart, just absolutely tear them apart.
Yeah, especially that second half.
I remember seeing a camera shot of just Brady not even looking like he knew what was going on. I mean, he was just sitting on the bench and he was just, I don't think you can believe it.
He's overthrowing receivers that were 5 yards open. That's something that you don't see, and I would say it's not something to get used to. The reason I had him as my cold player is because I had Andy Dalton, but I could also see him going off. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
All right, well, I think that just about does it for our fantasy show this week. Be sure to tune in next week, and that's it.